Good morning, everybody. Orange A here with another War of the Visions video, and we might not be getting any new units this week in Global, but there's some units getting EX upgrades. So if you've invested in some of these lovely ladies over here to my left, this could be a really good week for you as they're getting a significant power up. So let's talk about Lucia, Lilyth, and Sosha and see if any of their power ups are good enough to justify investing those blossoms or those really valuable elemental resources into, because it's not cheap to EX a unit. It's good on the Vizio, or it's cheap on that end, but the other resources, it can be pretty steep. Now, when we're talking about them, let's start by talking about Lucia. She is the UR unit getting EX this week, and I think with Joom coming out and Lucia and Sosha being wind units, a lot of people have their eyes on this Lucia EX upgrade, and for good reason. So check it out. Her HP takes a big jump from 1812 to 3000. That's nice. She's not going to be like as squishy anymore, but I still wouldn't rely on her like surviving a ton. Her attack gets a much needed boost from 345 to 502. She gets 2 more agility. She picks up some dexterity and luck. And overall, I'd say like statistically, they hit her where it mattered. HP, attack, agility, these are the things you want from her. But of course, those are not going to be the thing that like tell the full story. We're going to have to look at her skill upgrades from the EX to get a little deeper there. So let's check them out. And straight away, you see that one of her support abilities gets an EX upgrade. And crucially, it's one of her support abilities that you actually use all the time. Tune-up from the double gunner job is an amazing support ability, right? 12% agility, 40 defense pin. You're just auto running this thing for your DPS units with this. Like it's insanely good. She gets a nice little buff to it. Acquired AP up 30 and range +1. Now that's interesting. Like this range increase will creep back into her kit again here in a minute, but it looks to me like they might be trying to move her into a position where she can maybe not use bells in your group, maybe not use your AP regenerating items, free that up for somebody else, and by increasing her range and giving her more HP, this will let her take less AoE hits, and maybe by taking less hits, she'll die less with the, more HP and range, able to stay away from the tank. So I like that upgrade a lot, big fan. Now, if we scroll down, let's check out the rest of the stuff she's getting in her main job. She's getting one of her buffs upgraded, shooting posture right here. That's what it's called in JP anyway. It's a TP skill, 30 TP, 2 casts. It gives missile attack 40 for 3 turns for her allies, and then 20 more defense pin for herself. So just with this buff on and the last support ability we saw, she's already sitting at a nice little 60 defense pin, and you can, mod that out a little more with some gear. Then the EX upgrade here gives her more range. It's another range +1 increase for 3 turns for herself. So this, again, this is a buff you're probably going to have her casting anyway, and it's another range +1. So she's at +2 range from her support ability and this buff. Now let's scroll back up to her support abilities here, and you can see she has some other abilities that give her range as well. Hunter's Knowledge. This is an accuracy and range buff. Accuracy very important in the game again, with evasion on the rise since Starlight Elena comps became a thing, and now with all this new UR evasion gear creeping in, accuracy is a big deal. So I think you could run like Hunter's Knowledge plus the upgraded tune-up, and you'd be in a pretty nice spot. Okay, she's also getting her new job level 25 ability, Sadistic Blast. Big range, right? This already has a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and crucially a range height 2. With your gunners, a lot of times they need like a flat map to be able to hit somebody or line of sight to be able to hit somebody. Gunners are awkward to use, so I like that this has a big range and a nice range height of 2. It's a piercing attack that also inflicts a 50% chance of, a 25% chance of inflicting slow for 3 turns on the target. This is a really good move, adds some nice utility to her kit. I don't know if the AI would choose to use this over something like Double Shot, but maybe it would, because Double Shot's range is a little shorter. Double Shot range 4, this is base range 5, so you got a little more range on there. Maybe that's when she'd use it. Lucia, For PvE, I don't think her EX upgrade changes her much. If your only use for this unit has been, look, I bring her for quadruple shot because she walks in there, all these missions have like, make elemental chain 3, she goes bang, 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 we got our elemental chain and we just move on. That's not going to change. But with the increased stats and the new range plus sadistic blast, I think there's some interesting Lucia Corwell comps out there with Joom or something along those lines. Okay, that's not it. We got more ladies to talk about today. Let's go ahead and talk about Lilyth. Lilyth is the MR unit that's getting the EX upgrade this week. She's a fire unit, you know, one of King Mont's fans from the story. She's in the King Mont fan club for sure. And she's kind of always been an awkward unit. Like, let's look at her skill. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's look at her stat increases though. And note that her HP jumps from 2350 to 3495. That's 500 more HP than the UR unit. Now, the UR unit is a gunner, Lilyth is a knight, so it makes sense she would have more HP, but for an MR unit, 3495 base HP is respectable. Her attack at 424, again, very respectable for an MR unit. What else is getting buffed on her? She's gaining 2 defense. She's gaining a whopping 6 agility. That's real nice. And she's also gaining dexterity and luck a little bit. So a nice little stat upgrade for her. But once again, if we're going to talk about EX upgrades, we need to talk about skills, because that's a big part of it. So her support skills, nothing here is changing. Notice that she does have self-sacrifice though, that's called Abandon on JP. For an MR unit, I really like running this. I'm just going to kind of mention this in passing because it's a 60% attack buff. Like, this really helps overcome a little bit of those stat problems that MR units can run into. So I really like this buff on her, but it didn't get upgraded. I was kind of hoping it would. Her upgrades instead go to her main job skills. Let's pull those up. So, first one, a TP skill, Divine Heal. I hate this skill. Like, as a base, increase max HP by 20% for 3 turns for self. Like, ooh, this skill's really weak. It's just some more HP. What does she get on it though? She gets 15% AP restore. So she gets like bells. She gets an AP regen on it. So it goes from being garbage to being really good. Definitely, again, a move to free up your AP regenerating items from maybe a more important damage dealer in your group. If you're running like Lilyth and, you know, somebody Raldor who really wants bells or something like that. I don't know that Raldor is best example. Well, you get it, right? So this is really cool. I don't know how powerful it is, but having a AP regenerate on a TP skill is amazing. And for things like PvE, if you ever need to do like a fire slashing chain, or I mean, she has missile down here, ranger job, a fire missile chain, having access to AP regen from her kit, really nice. I like that a lot. Now, her second upgrade is in her AP break skill. It turns into AP crash. Like, this sucks. This is a bad one, I think. It's a 12% AP break that stays the same. It just gains 1 range. Like, oof. I think this is a swing and a miss. I don't, like, maybe in manual PvP, this could be really powerful. I could see that. But I just don't love that. I wish they'd have gone a different way. And then her new job level 25 skill, they are really leaning into AP breaks. However, I like this one a lot. Let me tell you why. AP burst, this is a 200% damage modifier. AoE slash attack with a nice range on it. It's like it targets at a range of 3 and can hit up to 4. So great. This gives her a range skill, which she otherwise lacked in her main job, and gives her some more AoE. Whereas previously, all of her knight skill had for AoE was this little like line AoE in front of her with power break. This is a ranged AoE attack. It's her highest modifier attack in her main job. Fantastic. So the AI will like to use it. And then a 40x AP hit on the targets. You guys, like, actually, she's all about AP. She's an AP manipulation character now. She has AP regenerate through a TP skill, and she has AP breaks. The one of them got EX upgraded, and then this new one that's an actual big damage skill. So I actually think Lilyth is like low-key kind of good here. I don't know. I would love to EX her and test her out, but I'm sitting on 2 Blossoms of Paradise right now. So yo, Square, if you want to throw me some, I was going to say throw me some weed. I don't want to get like DMCA'd. If you want to throw me some Blossoms of Paradise, I'd be happy to test these units out for you. But that would probably piss everyone off. Okay, so that's Lilyth. I think she's looking pretty cool. Like, I don't know how strong it's going to be, but I like the idea of what they're doing with her. Oh gosh, that looks weird. Let's fix that. Fixed. There we go. Okay, next up, Sosha. We have an SR unit getting an EX upgrade. Let's spend a little bit of time looking at her. Her HP doubles, more than doubles, 1522 to 3225. Like, she goes from having less HP than Lucia at level 99 to 225 more HP than Lucia, and to competing in HP with Lilyth. So a massive HP upgrade for Sosha, which is good because she's a melee unit. She's a friggin' Dragoon. She needs HP if you're gonna ever think about using her. Her attack goes up by it goes from 251 to 473. Awesome. She has more attack than the MR unit Lilyth, so a nice big upgrade there. And with being a Dragoon, right, she uses a lance. That's a harder damage type to resist than slash like Lilyth has, so I really like that. Nice attack buff. She also goes from 41 agility to 46, still very slow. Like, 46 agility is turtle speed, but it's like at least a 4-legged turtle instead of a 3-legged turtle like 41 agility is. She's an SR unit though. She's an SR unit. Could be really strong in some cost-restrictive formats though. Always keep those in mind. Her dexterity and luck get a nice upgrade, and she's still a move 3, jump 4 unit, so there's some nice utility there, and it only costs 40. Like I was saying, honestly, all 3 of these units are really interesting in cost-restrictive formats. The UR unit Lucia still only costs 80. That's cheap. Lilyth is 60, and Sosha's 40. So very, very cheap to use. Now, her skills, like always, her skills get a little love as well, so let's go look at those. Support, nothing. Her support skills stay the same. She has attack up, HP up, concentration, which is, like, no, don't run that. But she has an accuracy buff. Again, I just think, like, accuracy's low-key really strong in this game right now. Okay, let's look at what actually got upgraded, though. Let's go to her main job, her Dragoon. And Dragon Blood, this is the attack buff. It's a 42% attack buff, like just base. Her EX upgrade now also gives her 20 Spirit and a 250 CT restore. Excellent. This is good for a couple reasons. One, by being able to, like, add some Spirit, you can say, maybe I can run Sosha in some, like, anti-magic teams, right? 20 Spirit from her. Like, she can self-buff 20 Spirit. That's really strong. I like that a lot, while giving herself attack, and then the CT restore will help make up for some of her slowness, some of her turtle speed. We've gone from a 4-legged turtle to a potentially 5-legged turtle. The question is a 5-legged turtle actually better than a 4-legged turtle? What has science done? Anyway, horizontal jump. This is the other skill that's getting upgraded for her. Horizontal jump's a really, really good skill because of the range, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's range 5. So it's kind of like she's a melee unit, right? But with a range 5 jump, she turns into sort of a range unit. Okay, wait, hold on. Really important right here. I actually missed this. It goes from range height 0 to range height 1. That's a big deal. Before, with horizontal jump, the biggest weakness of it was you had to be on even field with the opponent. Now they can be up or down 1. That just opens up the chances to use this by a lot. And then really leaning into the anti-mage thing here, that's a 25% chance to silence for 3 turns. So okay, I like that. It's a great buff to what was already one of her best moves anyway. Then she gets Jammer Dive at job level 25. Let's scroll down so you can see that. This is a physical barrier break, 220% attack damage. Again, leaning into anti-mage by having ability cancellation on it. Hits in the same AoE that like a Dragon Dive does. In fact, on this little square, it looks very similar to Dragon Dive. The difference being that AI will use this instead of Dragon Dive. This is essentially just a Dragon Dive EX upgrade for like an anti-mage Dragoon unit. Same range height, just does more damage, breaks barriers, and cancels ability activation. That's amazing. This is a great skill. In fact, every one of the skills they upgraded for her or gave her right here are really good. The thing holding Sosha back is that she's, it's that she's a MR unit, or an SR unit. So her stats, she's going to have to overcome those, but again, in a cost-restrictive format, I think you might have something going for you there. Okay, that's going to be the video, guys. Will I EX any of them? I kind of want to EX Lucia. I really do like using her in PvE comps for that chaining. Of course, I would like to EX all of them, and I hope at some day I can EX all of them, because it's just fun. Like, running a random Lilyth team, that's pretty hype. No one sees that coming. Then you break their AP and you win, and they're mad. All right, that's the video, you guys. If you liked it, please do hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.